Oh, the sweet, sweet burn of failure. I was almost done with this. And my time ran out. I wasn't paying attention to the countdown. And now I gotta do this all over again. You guys are lucky I like you. This is my newest wrestling whatever vlog. I should have done it a few days ago, but whatever. Here we go. Vince McMahon is looking to bring back the XFL. If any of you kiddies are young enough to even remember that debacle, Vince obviously smells blood in the water with the NFL protesting and low attendance, all that stuff. And I guess he thinks he can take them down and gain revenge. He doesn't like to look like an idiot. And 17 years ago, he looked like an idiot. XFL did start off as quite a successful thing, but it was dead about 5 weeks later when they started injecting wrestlers into the product. I mean, they had The Rock coming out on the 50-yard line before a game cutting a promo. They had Steve Austin in the locker room cutting promos on the quarterback. And then they started doing like the raunchy, sleazy stuff like, oh, the cheerleaders are blowing the football players and this type of stuff. They made it football, but WWE type crap. I mean, you leave the wrestlers at home, let it be football. But he's trademarked the XFL name again, sold 100 million shares of WWE stock. Where do these McMahons keep getting all this stock from? So, I don't know. I guess the XFL is going to make a return sometime. Get ready for that. Cena is sued by Ford Motor Company. I wish I wrote down the name of the vehicle. I'd seen a picture of it. This is kind of old. But this idiot was gifted a $500,000 dream car or something, concept car. All he had to do was drive it around for 2 years, and it was his scot-free to do whatever he wanted with it. Burn it, sell it, drive it off a cliff. No, this D-bag takes it and sells it almost immediately. It gets caught. Ford wants their money back because he broke their contract. His excuse for doing it was he needed his bills to be paid. What type of bills does this guy got? He's been in like 5, 6, 8 movies in the last few years. He's got a movie in the movie theater right now. He's filming Transformers Bumblebee. And he needs money. He gets like $6 million a year from the WWE. Just wrestling. That's not even merchandise. But no, he's going to be sued. He has to come up with the money for the car. Brie Bella, or Nikki Bella, was recently... They live by me, by the way, John and Brie. She had recently walked into a Bentley dealership and bought a Bentley with cash. So maybe that's what they did with the money from the Ford, from the vehicle. And that's maybe... Or it's maybe why John had to come up with some money all of a sudden to pay his bills. But who knows? Sheamus is near retirement. Near retirement? Why do I say that? Sheamus is suffering from spinal nosis. It's the same thing that took down Sting and Edge in his prime. Yes, he's wrestling. He's still being on TV, things like that. But if you notice, he isn't taking bumps. And like this week's Raw where he got thrown into the stairs, it was the weakest stair bump ever. I would expect in the next year or so, if not sooner, he's probably going to be retiring, or they're going to have some sort of an angle where he's written off of TV, which kind of sucks. He's still a young dude. He still had a lot of potential on him, and I don't even really remember the dude taking that many bumps, but I don't know. But it sucks, I guess, to be Sheamus. Dreamwave Celebration in Illinois was to host the biggest NWO reunion ever. Anybody who was ever in the NWO, including WWE NWO, was supposed to be there. Who didn't show up? Scott Hall. He went MIA. Then a few weeks later, he went MIA for another event. People thought he was missing. There was missing persons reports filed. The only person who found him or got a contact of him was DDP, and he verified Hall is alive. So I guess it's safe to say that Scott Hall has fallen off the wagon again and is back to drinking. I feel bad for the dude, but in a way I don't. I think I'm just viewing the guy as a guy who just can't live without the fame, the public eye, the money, the lifestyle, kind of like Flair in a way. But Flair is keeping it together, even though we all know Flair's a drunk and he has his spats and whatever. But I don't know. People aren't going to feel sorry for him anymore and keep taking care of him. You know, Jake the Snake is clean. Why can't Scott Hall stay clean? Whatever. Goldberg returning? Question mark. Apparently he possibly is for a Mania or maybe SummerSlam match. And of course, who do you think he's going to fight? Triple H. And if it isn't Triple H, it's supposed to be a returning Batista. But maybe when's Batista returning? I guess maybe that could be at the Royal Rumble. I don't know. He said he is training, though. It's totally different training from what he was forced into a few months ago, where he was basically just told, hey, you're having a match, start getting buff again. So this time when we see him, he's probably going to be super jacked if he's really coming back. And I think he should. He can wrestle. And I don't know why the WWE treated him like a quadrupedal, I can't say the word. Like he was handicapped when he came back here last time. We'll just leave it at that. With these like 15-second matches and stuff. It was just horrible. But maybe we'll get more of them this time. Rich Swann, of course, everybody knows, was arrested in Florida for scuffling with his wife. Rich Swann said he did it because it was late out at night. And she had the cell phone with the GPS and he wanted to go home. She was being hysterical because he was critiquing her match she had just had, and she thought he was going to escalate the situation. So her bright idea was to jump out of a moving car and start running down the highway. Yeah, that won't get attention. But of course, he caught up to her, and I could see his point. It's late. I want to go home. He basically wrapped her up and threw her in the car, and people called the cops on him. Well, she's dropped the charges, and supposedly the cops haven't. But supposedly it's coming out that he's trying to do this or whatever to get out of his contract with the WWE. Because, yeah, probably even if they didn't fire him at this point, he's probably just going to be buried. We won't see him on TV. And he probably wants more out of his career than that. Ziggler's contract was supposed to be up any day from now. But it's been reported that Ziggler is being pulled off of TV until his contract is up. Actually, wait until his contract is up. He's going to be off of TV. WWE, I guess, has re-signed him. They think it's going to be great to pull him off of TV and have him disappear for weeks, months, whatever it's going to be. And then when he comes back, they're going to start his new push, or lack thereof. I really wish he changed his mind and didn't re-sign and went to New Japan. I think he would have done so much better for himself there. But whatever. It's his deal, not mine. Title-changing news. Tim Storm, NWA World Champion, was bested by Magnus, a.k.a. Nick Aldis. I don't know how this match came to be because Storm's next opponent was supposed to be Tommy Dreamer and then Josephus. But I watched this match on YouTube, and Magnus is now the NWA World Champion. I do got to say, though, the Smashing Pumpkins guy who bought NWA, he's made NWA relevant again in just such a short time, just by using YouTube. If you don't know what I'm talking about, start looking some stuff up, man. He's doing some really great stuff for them. And it just makes me wonder what would happen to Impact if Dixie Carter sold the company to him like she was supposed to do. But whatever. Dalton Castle defeated Cody Rhodes at Final Battle, and he's now the new Ring of Honor World Champion. Cody Rhodes had just debuted his new title for the company before that match and lost it. So kudos to Dalton Castle. He's been one of my favorites for a while. He just now got up to his title win on TV last night. I watched it this morning. He looks great holding the title. Cody did debut a new hairstyle. He shaved his hair and he dyed it platinum blonde just like his brother and his dad. And that got a big pop from the crowd. Ring of Honor also is debuting all new titles, including a Women's of Honor title, which was going to be crowned here recently in an upcoming tournament for a women's champion. Triple H claims now main roster guys can be moved at any time to either NXT or 205 Live, and we're already seeing that with Matt Hardy on 205 Live facing Bray Wyatt. What a waste. Potential WWE Hall of Fame leaks for 2018. This will be the legend. There's always one legend on these things. And this one is supposedly going to be Goldberg. Next one is going to be Bam Bam Bigelow. Kudos to WWE finally doing him some honors. Team 3D. Going to be interesting how they do that with Bubba Ray and Ring of Honor. And Bubba Ray duped me, if obviously he's not retired from wrestling. Ivory. And in the celebrity wing, Kid Rock. I don't know, man. RBD, you've been hearing me report about it for months that he was supposed to be coming to the WWE. WWE has finally come out and said RBD cannot clear the medical examinations. They claim he has serious concussions and they will not clear him to wrestle. RBD is, of course, not thrilled about this. He posted something on Twitter and he canceled his Legends contract. So we're never going to see RBD in the WWE again, which I think is just stupid. There's a way to wrestle and still protect the guy. It's not like we use chairs anymore there, for Christ's sake. And RVD was such a merchandise mover. I don't get it. MNM reunited recently for All Pro Wrestling to face Reno Scum. Joey Mercury got the pin for the victory for Team MNM. So I guess Joey Mercury is back on the wrestling scene. Prince Puma and War Machine have supposedly passed their medical exams and have close to, if not, have already signed their contracts. So WWE has finally pinned down Ricochet and War Machine. We'll see. Also, they supposedly have signed Candice LeRae as well. She is the top 3 of the indie top wrestler, female wrestlers, and they've been chasing her for a while. So they finally, I guess, have locked her down. She is married to Johnny Gargano. Yeah. Elias Sampson's announced he's the #1 entrance to the Royal Rumble. Woo-hoo! Vince is trying to end the one fall chant. And if you haven't noticed it recently on TV, the announcer, when he goes, "Oh, that match is set for a one fall," and he instantly jumps into the next sentence to cut the fans off, that's Vince's attempt to end it. I don't know why. It's something fun to do. They do it at NXT. They're doing it on Raw and SmackDown. They're also doing it at Ring of Honor and other wrestling shows. And I think that's probably the reason why they're doing it, because Vince is like, they're stealing from us. And it's not like we can send a cease and desist letter to the crowd. So I guess he's trying to end that. Hideo Itami broke Brian Kendrick's nose and orbital bone on that match a few weeks back on Raw, doing the GTS. Whoops. At the very end of the match. It's been reported that his orbital bone does not require surgery, but his nose does, so we're not going to see Kendrick for a while, obviously. Edge, Hall of Famer, WWE competitor Edge is on the TV show Vikings this season. He's one of the main characters. If you don't watch that show, it's such a great show. He looks super big and buff on that show, but I know it's got to be all the padding and stuff. But kudos to him, man. That's a big score, and I love that show. That's one of my favorite shows. Jericho, before his big match against Kenny Omega at Wrestle Kingdom, dedicated the match to his good friends Eddie Guerrero and Chris Benoit, who were both big stars in New Japan Pro Wrestling before they blew up in America, and Jericho was there with them back then. Of course, only the a-holes are focusing on the fact that he said he's dedicating the match to Chris Benoit, and Jericho had to shut them down, and I agree with it. Those two were his friends. Even if Chris Benoit did what the people say he did, he still had friendships, real-life friendships and memories with people. It's their opinions if the dude is a monster or if they want to remember him or not. Chris Jericho had every right to say what he did and honored those two. You don't like Chris Benoit? Fine, but you don't have to go on Twitter and rant about it. But yeah, he did that, and that got some people steamed. And of course, his match with with Omega was a no disqualification match. Jericho lost in a bloody battle to Omega, to a one-winged angel onto a folding chair. And I will say Jericho looked really good, even though it looked like he put on 5-10 pounds. Kenny Omega took a beating, was bloodied, took great bumps for Jericho. Jericho got to hit all of his stuff. He looked like $1 million, but everybody knew Omega was winning. Cody lost to Habushi, shockingly, but he damn near killed him in that match. He did a crossroads off the ring apron onto the floor, and I swear he should have killed that guy. Marty Scurll had a great ring entrance. He should have, I forget who he wrestled. He should have been killed. He took a bump onto the railings, outside railings, and I don't know how his head didn't crack open. But he lives. Paige has recently been injured by Sasha Banks. She took a high kick to the back of her head and collapsed in the ring. She was supposed to stop Banks after that from doing the hot tag. Paige couldn't get to her feet and it looked like she was having convulsions in the ring. This is all on YouTube. You can see it. The match was stopped. Stretchers came out, but she was able to eventually walk on her own. She was crying and she was holding the back of her neck. This doesn't look good for a girl who just less than a year ago had neck surgery. Did she come back too soon? I don't know. But she hasn't been wrestling since then. I'm sure we're going to see her in the Women's Royal Rumble, maybe. But that's not good news if you're Paige. WWE said she had a small stinger. But like I said, if she just had neck surgery and the kick wasn't even... I mean, Sasha Banks, for Christ's sake. I mean, it didn't look that hard of a kick. You know, it was a worked kick, and that dropped Paige to her knees. So Paige might be having a short career, too. Women's Rumble news. It was originally going to be 15 girls entering. Now it's 30. What is it? There's currently 21 women on the main roster signed. Take away Alexa Bliss and Charlotte Flair, who are champions. They won't be in it. That leaves us 19, including, we'll say, Lana. I'm sure she's probably in it. So that means that's 11 potential people to surprise us in the Rumble. And if the WWE really wants us to work, they got to do something. Names that are being kicked around for surprise entrances: Karma, aka Awesome Kong. That would be great. Nikki Bella, of course. Ivory potentially being in the Hall of Fame. She's been signed to do some stuff here on the network. I wouldn't be shocked if she shows up in it, even though I don't know how old she is. Beth Phoenix, I guarantee you Beth Phoenix is going to be in this. She has been signed to do a bunch of stuff with the company recently, too. She's on the payroll. She's the commentator on the couples mixed tag thing that's coming up. I guarantee you Beth Phoenix is in this, and she will be the only female, if she is, to have ever been in the Men's Royal Rumble and the Women's Royal Rumble. And I can see the WWE totally playing this up, so expect to see Beth Phoenix. Gail Kim's name's been kicked around. That would be really cool. That'd be a big pop, would it not? Trish Stratus, yeah, I can bet you money, dollars to donuts, she'll be there. Lita's probably going to be there. Rumor is the Iconic Duo could be there. Renee Young's name's been kicked around, and people are probably like, why Renee Young? She did spend a better part of last year training to be in WrestleMania with Dean Ambrose to face The Miz and Maurice, but that was shut down when John Cena needed somebody to wrestle. So her name is being passed around. Eva Marie. Would that not blow the roof off the joint if Eva Marie came out? Emma's name is even being passed around. Kelly, Nikki Cross. I think that would blow the place up too, Nikki Cross. Michelle McCool has shown interest in coming back. And even Caitlyn. Remember Caitlyn? She was posting 2 months ago. She's training for some sort of in-ring return in Orlando. So we could be seeing Caitlyn. The 4 women versus 4 horsewomen match is supposedly scrapped again in favor of... Oh, yeah, I missed some people. Possibly Amber Moon is going to be in the Women's Royal Rumble. Possibly. But they think it would be dumb because, of course, she would lose and she's the NXT Women's Champion. But I say, who gives a shit? Everybody's going to lose, except for one person. Shayna Baszler. I could see her in it. But Ronda Rousey's going to be the big name surprise entrant, and she's heavily favored to win it. So expect to see her. Now the 4 horsemen versus 4 horsemen match is probably being scrapped again for Ronda Rousey versus Asuka or Charlotte Flair. It was leaning towards Flair, but now it's going towards Asuka, and it'll probably be by that time Asuka will be the the women's champion. So we'll have to see. Randy Orton's taking his ball and going home for no reason for the next 2 months. So expect to see him on Twitter talking crap about a lot of wrestlers. When he has too much free time, that seems to be what he does. Silas Young's contract is up with Ring of Honor, and he's currently the TV champion. He's grown on me in the last year or so, him and Beer City Bruiser. But he's teasing leaving and jumping to Impact Wrestling. Why, bro? You got to be making more money in Ring of Honor and working for New Japan than you would in Orlando. But maybe he wants a shorter schedule. I don't know. But it could be just a ploy, a money grab too. Oh boy, guys, this is crazy news here. Christy Hemme has given birth to quadruplets. If you don't know what that is 4 babies at once, kiddos, all coming out of the love tunnel. She gave birth to 3 males and 1 female. At her age, at 37, the chances of a successful birth was 1 in 800,000, and she pulled it off. So kudos to her. All I saw was one photo of her face on Twitter, and she looks spent, but her hair was still pretty. Speaking of Shayna Baszler, a couple days ago, what night did I see that NXT show? The next night. That would have been Saturday. She was in Orlando and interrupted a training session between Jessica Alban and Dakota Kai. Jessica is like the new Nerd Bailey. She's a hot girl, but that's her new gimmick. She's on my NXT video I just posted. Well, apparently Baszler got into the ring and was critiquing the headlock or the chokehold that was on Jessica, and Jessica agreed to take it, and she applied it and wouldn't release it and choked the girl out, supposedly in the ring, which supposedly has put heat on her. I don't know. I would think if somebody did that in real life, they would be fired or suspended or something, but whatever. It's being reported as a legit thing, so that's why I'm reporting it. Wow, I breezed through this a lot quicker than I did the last time. So, that's it for now, guys. I don't know what else to say. I got some unboxing stuff here to do. I'm still working on cleaning up my mess. I don't know. All the new subs, welcome. Feel free to go and watch prior videos. All you new NXT people in the last few nights, I've got more videos, so feel free to watch them. I don't know. Hit like, leave a comment, subscribe, hit the notification button, all that good stuff. I don't know. Tell me what you think about the news vlog. That's it for now, guys. Maybe I'll do an unboxing here. Wait, something's coming up in the next few days, I think, right? I don't know. Either way, you'll see me again in the next couple of days. So, all right. That's it for now, guys. Mad Viking out. Thanks for watching.